My Lord, my dear Lord, it is perfectly well known to me that you are the reservoir of all good qualities. Great saintly persons like Narada Muni are always engaged simply in glorifying your transcendental characteristics. Someone who simply takes shelter of such a saintly person immediately becomes freed from all material contamination. And when he comes to direct contact with your service, the goddess of fortune agrees to bestow all her blessings. Under the circumstances, what women who has once heard of your glories from authoritative sources and has somehow or other relished the nectarine fragrance of your lotus feet would be foolish enough to agree to marry someone of this material world who is always afraid of death, disease, old age, and rebirth. I have therefore accepted your lotus feet not without consideration, but after mature and deliberate decision. My dear Lord, you are the master of the three worlds. You can fulfill all the desires of all your devotees in this world and the next, because you are the supreme soul of everyone. I have therefore selected you as my husband, considering you to be the only fit personality. You may throw me in any species of life according to the reactions of my fruitive activity. I haven't the least concern for this. My only ambition is that I may always remain fast to your lotus feet, for you can deliver your devotees from illusory material existence and are always prepared to distribute yourself to your devotees. Hare Krishna.
This is very nice prayers now from Lord Krishna's wife, Rukmini. Very, very nice. And she's understanding fully his position. Let's ask Archana to continue from here.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you. My dear Lord, you have advised me to select one of the princes such as Sisupala, Jarasanga, or Dantavakra. But who is their position in this world? They are always engaged in hard labor to maintain their household life, just like the bulls working hard day and night with an oil pressing machines. They are compared to asses, beasts of burden. They are always dishonored like dogs, and they are misery like cats. They have.
Oops, Archana's frozen out. Have we got the book, or have you got anything to read there, Charna Ravinda Prabhu?
I haven't, no, not at the moment.
Okay,
No.
so they are always dishonored like dogs, and they are miserly like the cats. Now, I didn't know that cats were miserly, by the way. That's interesting. Anybody got a cat, yeah? I know Archana's got a cat at the house. Miserly. I suppose if you ask a cat for a donation, they'll say, me, ow.
They're miserly with their affection, right? So I've stayed in homes with multiple cats, and you have to wait for them really to curl up on your lap or do whatever. It's not like I think that's maybe something that maybe it's referring to emotion.
So that's us. Archana's come back now from the dead. She just disappeared, and they have sold themselves like slaves to their wives. Go ahead.
Any unfortunate woman who has never heard of your glories may accept such a man as her husband. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But a woman who has learned about you, that you are praised not only in this world, but in the halls of the great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, will not accept anyone besides you as her husband. A man within this material world is just a dead body. In fact, superficially, the living entity is covered by this body, which is nothing but a bag of skin decorated with a beard and mustache, hair on the body, nails on the fingers, and hair on the head. Within this decorated bag are bunches of muscles, bundles of bones, and pools of bloods, always mixed with stool, urine, mucus, bile, and polluted air, and enjoyed by different kind of insects and germs. A foolish woman accepts such a dead body as her husband and, in sheer misunderstanding, loves him as her dear companion. This is possible only because such a woman has never released the ever blissful fragrance of your lotus feet.
Okay, so I'm sorry, that doesn't say a lot for Mansuk by. I hope he's not hearing this. Oh dear. Well, obviously, Krishna's wife doesn't think very much about the material bodies of the conditioned souls. She only wants to relish the pure spiritual form of the Lord in his Satchitananda Vigraha, and therefore this is very much in the line of the thinking of the great princess Mirabai. She was very much absorbed in this mood that she'll only accept Krishna as her husband. So even when sadly, her sister had to take poison when there was a mistake in the marriage arrangement where two parties arrived for the marriage. I don't know how that happened. The sister had to take the poison, and then the men went away, sad, but there was no war, there was no fight, and she sacrificed her life so that many people wouldn't be killed in the fight over the princess. So this is very reminiscent of Mirabai's mentality towards marriage to a normal man of this world with, as you say here, mustaches and beards. Oh, we've got a man here with a mustache and a beard. Haribol Jana Ravinda Prabhu. Mustache and beards, and lots of bones, hairs on the head. Well, this is it. This is what's going on. So Jigna and Ramesh have arrived now. So let's see if Jigna can share the story with Charnaravinda, if it's possible. Because she usually comes and does that. I don't know how she does it exactly.
Hare Krishna, yes, I will. It's chapter.
It's still the same, still the same chapter. Yeah, we haven't moved on yet.
Okay,
We've got a few more pages. I'm reading from the big Krishna book here.
okay. It's talks between Krishna and Rukmini. Is
Yeah,
that the chapter?
and my dear lotus-eyed husband. My dear lotus-eyed husband. Okay, there you go, Charnavinda. It's been shared for you.
It's before that, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yeah, my dear lotus-eyed husband.
No, it's the one paragraph before that. My dear Lord, you have advised me to select one of the princes.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah, no, sorry. Yeah,
yeah,
my mistake. Yeah,
Archana's just done
yeah,
that.
that's what.
With the graphic details of the
Yeah,
gross material body.
yeah,
I hope Mansuk wasn't listening to that part.
So whereabouts are we now then? I've got a page.
My dear lotus-eyed husband, you are self-satisfied. If you can find it, and Jigna can continue from this point.
My dear beautiful princess.
No, my dear lotus-eyed husband. You carry on, Jigna, and Charnaravinda can catch up and find out where you are.
Okay, My dear lotus-eyed husband, you are self-satisfied. You do not care whether or not I am beautiful or qualified. You are not at all concerned about it. Therefore, your non-attachment for me is not at all astonishing. It is quite natural. You cannot be attached to any woman, however exalted her position and beauty. Whether you are attached to me or not, may my devotion and attention be always engaged at your lotus feet. The material mode of passion is also your creation, so when you passionately glance upon me, I accept it as the greatest boon of my life. I am ambitious only for such auspicious moments.
There we are. This is a very nice example here of how she feels towards Lord Krishna. Did you catch that paragraph, Chana Ravinda Prabhu?
I haven't yet. I'm looking down this script and I can't, my dear Lord.
We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about eight paragraphs from the end.
Oh, well,
Roughly.
I don't know where I am, actually. I'm just working my way down.
Okay, Jai, you carry on from here, Prabhu.
After hearing Rukmani's statement and a clarification of each and every word he had used to arouse her anger and love towards him, Krishna addressed Rukmani as follows: My dear chaste wife, my dear princess, I expected such an explanation from you, and only for this purpose did I speak all those joking words, so that you might be cheated of the real point of view. Now my purpose has been served. The wonderful explanation you have given of my every word is completely factual and approved by me. O most beautiful Rukmani, you are my dearest wife. I am greatly pleased to understand how much love you have for me. Please take it for granted that no matter what ambition and desire you might have, and no matter what you might expect from me, I'm always at your service. And it is a fact also that my devotees, my dearest friends and servitors, always free from material contamination, even they are not inclined to ask me for such liberation. My devotees never desire anything from me except to be engaged in my service, and yet, because they are completely dependent upon me, even if they are found to ask something from me, this is not material. Such ambitions and desires, instead of becoming the cause of material bondage, become the source of liberation from this material world.
Yeah, it's very nice. Krishna's defining pure devotional service here. Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavitam. That's from the Nectar of Devotion. And that pure devotees, their only ambition is to improve the quality of their service to Krishna and his devotees. They don't want any position. They don't want any. In fact, if they get some name or like a position, or they get some kind of glorification, they feel very uncomfortable. Pure devotees will feel very, they'll have to tolerate the glorification, whilst materialistic people, they lap it up. They lap it up like the cats lap up that milk. So the materialists are very different mentality to the devotees of the Lord. The devotees are averse to being glorified. Their satisfaction is simply in the service itself. So, Alex, you can carry on. Did you catch it yet, Charnavinda Prabhu?
I'd like to hear the verse, please. A verse or some.
Okay, carry on, Alex Prabhu, from there.
My dear chaste and pious wife, I have tested on this basis of strict chastity your love for your husband, and you have passed the examination most successfully. I have purposely agitated you by speaking many words not applicable to your character, but I am surprised to see that not a pinch of your devotion to me has been deviated from its fixed position. My dear wife, I am the bestower of all benedictions, even up to the standard of liberation from the material world, and it is I only who can stop the continuation of material existence and call one back home, back to Godhead. One whose devotion for me is adulterated, worships me for some material benefit, just to keep himself in the world of material happiness, culminating in the pleasure of sex life. One who engages himself to severe penances and austerities just to attain this material happiness is certainly under the illusion of my external energy. Persons who are engaged in my devotional service simply for the purpose of material gain and sense gratification are certainly very foolish. For material happiness based on sex life is available in the most abominable species of life, such as the hogs and dogs. No one should try to approach me for such happiness, which is available even if one is put into the hellish condition of life. It is better, therefore, for persons who are simply after material happiness and not after me to remain in that hellish condition. Hare Krishna.
So this is interesting now. What we're doing now, we're becoming privy here, very privy to God's conversation with his wife. You know, just like, you know, we hear Coronation Street, the great activities of EastEnders, Neighbours, I don't know what, Holby, I don't know what they are on Brookside. I've heard the names, and we hear all the conversations between husbands and wives and lovers and the beloveds and family, and but here we're hearing how God speaks with his wife. It's very, very interesting conversation. Yeah.
Can
And,
I hear? Can I hear an opening line again in the next verse, please?
material contamination is so strong. Okay. And also in this one, we've got that yes, that the Krishna is the benediction. He's telling his wife here, I actually offer the benedictions of Mukti. My name is obviously Mukunda, and I can give any benediction to the living entities. And of course, you know, the real benediction is to get the service of the Lord, to become engaged in service to the Vaishnavas. Mahat Sevan Dvaram Ahur Vimukte. That's very nice. Mahat Seva Dvaram Ahur Vimukte. That the service to the Mahatmas, the great devotees of the Lord, Mahatmanas Tumam Partha, Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha, from Bhagavad Gita. And this verse from the Bhagavatam, Mahat Seva Dvaram Ahur Vimukte, service to the Vaishnavas. Whether they be sannyasi, grihastas, vanaprastha, brahmacharis, whether they be initiated or even non-initiated Vaishnava, service is the actual doorway to liberation, to vimukta, to become vimukti, completely liberated, freed from. So to be engaged in the service of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada and his servants is incredible benediction for the human society. Did you find it yet, Charna Ravinda Prabhu?
Can I have an opening line, please?
I've just given it to you. Material contamination is so strong. I just gave it to you already.
I can share it on my screen if that helps.
Okay, Ramesh, you
The
carry on.
contamination is so strong that everyone is working. Yep, I've got
Yeah,
that.
go, carry on then. That's good. It's all right, Jigna. He's sorted out.
Material contamination is so strong that everyone is working very hard day and night for material happiness. The show of religion, austerity, penance, humanitarianism, philanthropy, politics, science, everything is aimed at realizing some material benefit. For the immediate success of material benefit, materialistic persons generally worship different demigods, and under the spell of material propensities, they sometimes take to devotional service of the Lord. But sometimes it so happens that if a person sincerely serves the Lord and at the same time maintains material ambitions, the Lord very kindly removes the source of material happiness. Not finding any recourse in material happiness, the devotee then engages himself absolutely in pure devotional service.
Oh, thank you very much, Prabhu. That was nice. So this little paragraph here that Chana Ravinda Prabhu has nicely recited is reminiscent of the shloka in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Akama sarvakamo va moksha kama udharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param or puman. So this akama, who can tell me what akama mean? Akama.
Or just a karma,
Akama, what does it mean?
service to the Lord.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Transcendental service, service that doesn't get karma for action or reaction
Oh
to
no,
it.
there's no not karma, akama. Akama, without the ra.
Akam.
Akam, yes. What does that mean?
Is there without any desire or something?
Yes, yes. Give it a big clap, everyone. Hooray! Obviously, Archana's been reading her new Srimad Bhagavatam set. There we go. And this is there in that Srimad Bhagavatam, Akama. Sarvakam. Now, what does Sarvakam mean? Sarvakama. In Sanskrit. Sarva means, does anyone know what Sarva means?
All
All, and Kama.
desire.
Yes, yes. Akam, whether you have no desires in this world, whether you're free from material desires, or whether you're full of desires, or moksha kama. What does moksha kama mean?
Mukti, liberation.
Yeah, but what does it mean, moksha kama?
So desire to mox, desire to liberate.
Desire is sayujya. When they say moksha, usually it's sayujya, whether you're desiring to enter into the Brahmajyoti, to experience Brahmananda. So whether you're free of desire for this world, or whether you're full of it, full of desires, or whether you're desiring to become one with God in the form of Brahmananda, Mokshakam Udharati, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, we're encouraged, we're advised to take up this process of Bhakti Yoga to fulfill all the desires. And therefore, this verse is definitely adhering to that principle. And sometimes someone comes to Krishna, they're full of desire. They want this, I want that. I want a lot of money. I want to be successful. I want to have good health. I want to have a happy family life. I want to enjoy this world. I want to have 2 holidays every year, Krishna, abroad. I want to go to India at least once or twice a year, Kartik and Gaur Purnima. What else do I want, Krishna? Come on, who's got any list of desires they want? Anything going down there, Alex? Anything you want, sir?
Well, I want. So I have a friend who basically blames everything else for his bad luck. He hasn't been able to find work for 3 years.
I want a good job. I want a new good job. Okay, Jigna, anything you want? Please don't say nothing.
Big house.
Oh, she wants a nice home. There we are. It's normal for a lady to want a nice big kitchen.
Yes, please.
Modern nice kitchen with those nice lights in the roof, those fancy lights in the roof and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ramesh bhai, anything you want, sir? Jai, Sujai je.
Happiness.
Okay, he's after Suk. He's after Suk. If you want Suk, you have to go and meet Archana's husband. His name is Mansuk Bhai.
Yeah.
Jai, what do you want there?
Me?
A bigger office.
Yeah, definitely.
I know what
Which
I
one?
like.
I'll give Jai a chance first. He needs a bigger office first of all.
But mainly probably to be in Krishna's service, really.
All right, so you want a guru. You want to find a spiritual master who will engage you more in the service of the
Krishna.
Vaishnavas and Krishna. Yeah, because taking guru means that, Krishna, when he gives you a guru, it means that you're ready now for bhajana kriya. Because in the beginning,
I've got a guru who's supposed to be initiated this Friday, but it's been postponed till November now.
oh, after 3, everyone, 1, 2, 3. Oh, what happened?
I think Maharaj has got too much commitments, so there were about 115 people listed to be initiated on Friday.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So there was too many, so he's postponed the ceremony till November now. So
Remember, this is who, Janananda Swami or Mahavishnu Swami or
no, Radhanath Swami.
Radhanath Swami. Oh, right. Oh, he's a lot of disciples there. Yeah. Well, when you get the guru, you're expected naturally to do double your seva,
Exactly.
double the seva, because when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we're only asking for one thing. Please, Krishna, give me a bigger office. No, we're not asking for a bigger office.
planning to retire next year.
Get me a good job, Krishna. No, we're asking Krishna, please give me the privilege of devotional service.
Definitely.
When we offer the puja to Tulsi Devi, we're saying, Seva adi koro diye, koro nijadan. Please give me the privilege of pure devotional service.
Jai.
When we meet the Vaishnavas, we say, Dear Prabhu, how can I serve you? How can I be of service? What can I do to please you? How can I, serve you? And of course, this is the result of the Hare Krishna mantra. So the more we chant the Maha Mantra, the more we attract pure devotional service, according to the instructions of Rupa Goswami in his Sri Upadeshamrita. Who has a copy of Sri Upadeshamrita at their home? The Nectar of Instruction. Who has a copy of Nectar of Instruction in their home? Who has? Yes, Jai Prakash has. Who has read the Nectar of Instruction?
I read that, but it was a couple of years ago.
It was a couple of years. Okay, 11. It's only 11 shlokas.
Yeah, need to reread it again, I think.
Yeah, Archana, have you got this book? Oh, I'm going to have to come back to your flat again now. I have to come back again now.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have something with nectar, but I don't know if it's the same book. Something to say with nectar in it, but I can't remember.
Okay.
What's the name.
Alex, do you have Nectar of Instructions, sir?
No, I don't.
Oh, Jigna?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do have. Okay. So the first book I received on the street from ISKCON, from the hands of a devotee, was the Nectar Instruction. And that Nectar Instruction is the very qualification. If we follow that, if we read that, Vacha Vegam, Manasakoda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udarupashta Vegam, Etan Vegam, Yovishaheta Dira, Sarvam Apimam, Prativim Sashishyat. So if we follow this nectar instruction, Atyahara Payasascha, Prajalpo Niyamagraha, Jana Sangas Chaloilium Cha, Shadbir Bhakti Prasidati, Up Vinashati. If we follow this Utsahan Nischaya Dharyat, Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, Sango Tyagat Satovrite, Shadbir Bhakti Prasidati, Dadhati Pratigrinati, Guyam Akyati Prichati, Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva, Shadvidhi Priti Lakshanam. These are the verses of Nectar Instruction. It is such an important book that it defines what is a pure devotee. If we are following this book, if we are making efforts to follow the instructions of this one book, that defines us as a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So it's such an important book. That's why we're called Rupanuga. Rupanuga, or followers of Rupa Goswami, by following this Nectar Instruction. So when you get chance, get that Nectar Instruction, okay? Please, and read it. If you haven't read it, get it. If you've read it, read it again. It's a very, 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 it is the book. It is the book that defines what a pure devotee is. Okay? All right, so Alex, Ramesh Bhai, can you carry on?
Lord Krishna continue, my dear best of queen, I clearly understand that you have no material ambition. Your only purpose is to be serve me, and you have long been engaged in unrolled service. Exemplary, unalloyed devotional service not only can bestow upon the devotee liberation from this material world, but it also promotes him to the spiritual world to be internally engaged in my service. Person too much addicted to material happiness cannot render such service. Women whose heart are polluted and full of material desire devise various means of sense gratification while outwardly showing themselves to be great devotee.
Yeah, that goes for the men as well. It's not only the women. Women do that. Of course, women are considered the reason women are considered to be materialistic sometimes is that they're very keen on shopping. Shopping, they're terrible for shopping. And you see sometimes the woman is there in the store and there's this very sad looking man with her. You see the woman is walking around with big and wide eyes, smiling, and then along with her you can see this man that looks very bewildered, and is when it's like, why am I in this shop? Oh, we're going to do another shop now. So naturally women are called stri. Stri means that which expands the material life. From stri you get children. From stri you get for Jigna's sake, a nice big kitchen, big house, and of course it's necessary though. The point is, women, you don't see men walking around with handbags. But the women, they need these things, these accessories because it's their nature. So sometimes it's said that women are more materialistic than men, but I think definitely the women are definitely more religiously minded than the men. At every gathering of religious gathering or spiritual gathering, you'll see there are twice as many women as men. I mean, I sometimes see on TV in India, and you see a big program, Pandal program, and you see it's full of women, and there's a few men here and there. My experience also of going to homes, invited for a kirtan and a pravachan, and I'm in the house, and then I'm looking out, and there's all women there, and there's one or two men. I said, "Well, where's all the men?" So I stop the program. I go up the front of the house, and all the men are in the garden talking about making money and this and that. I say, "Hey, you guys, get inside the house. What are you doing out here?" I stop the program, go outside there, and tell them off. You don't leave it to the women to take on the spiritual stuff. The men can be very materialistic. That's been my experience. What do you think, Archana? Yeah, Jigna, what's your experience?
Yes, that's true.
I've experienced it many times that the program is going on and kirtan and everyone's singing and there's nothing wrong, but half the men, more than half, they're all out the front having a cigarette, smoking a fag, and chatting about business as if that's the thing to do, that's the cool thing. It isn't cool. And there's definitely nothing cool about smoking cigarettes. Okay, Prabhu, can you carry on, Alex? My dear honored wife.
Hare Krishna. My dear honored wife, although I have thousands of wives, I do not think that any one of them can love me more than you. The practical proof of your extraordinary position is that although you had never seen me before our marriage and you had simply heard about me from a third person, still your faith in me was so much fixed that even in the presence of many qualified, rich, and beautiful men of the royal order, you did not select any one of them as your husband, but insisted on having me. You neglected all the princes present and very politely you sent me a confidential letter inviting me to kidnap you. While I was kidnapping you, your elder brother, Rukmi, violently protested and fought with me. As a result of this fight, I defeated him mercilessly and disfigured his body. At the time of Aniruddha's marriage, when we were all playing chess, there was another fight with your brother Rukmi on a controversial verbal point, and my elder brother Balarama finally killed him. I was surprised to see that you did not utter even a word of protest over this incident. Because of your great anxiety that you might be separated from me, you suffered all the consequences without speaking even a word. As the result of this great silence, my dear wife, you have purchased me for all time. I have come eternally under your control. You sent your messenger inviting me to kidnap you, and when you found that there was a little delay in arriving on the spot, you saw the whole world as vacant. At that time, you concluded that the beautiful body was not fit to be touched by anyone else. Therefore, thinking that I was not coming, you decided to commit suicide and immediately end that body. My dear Rukmani, such a great and exalted love for me will always remain within my soul. As far as I am concerned, it is not within my power to repay you for your unalloyed devotion to me. Jai Shri Krishna.
Oh, well, very nice. Well, that's a nice thing for a husband to say to his wife. These are very nice examples of how to speak. A husband can speak nicely with the wife. Oh, that's very, very nice. How he's speaking so appreciatively to Rukmini, that even Krishna disfigured her brother, and then Krishna's brother killed her brother, and still she doesn't complain, doesn't say anything. Just accepts it and understands. This is the way it is. My brother had it coming to him. Balaram, of course, if you're killed by Balaram, you get an immediate mukti, immediate form of moksha, whether it's Sayuja, Salokya, Sarshti. It all depends on the pedigree of the person who's being killed. Okay, so let's ask Chana Ravinda Prabhu to read the next part.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, certainly had no business being anyone's husband or son or father, because everything belongs to him and everyone is under his control. He does not require anyone's help for his satisfaction. He is Atmarama, self-satisfied. He can derive all pleasure by himself without anyone's help. But when the Lord descends to play the part of a human being, he plays a role either as a husband, a son, friend, or enemy in full perfection. As such, when he was playing as the perfect husband of the queens, especially with Rukmini, he enjoyed conjugal love in complete perfection.
Oh, very nice. This is because the Lord is the Purusha, and if anyone can enjoy conjugal love to perfection, it is God. It is God himself, the Purusha. But unfortunately, if you tell this to people following some other faiths, they'll consider it abominable that God can have a conjugal relationship with a female. Of course, Rukmini is not an ordinary woman; she's the goddess of fortune. But still, this is because they don't understand God as Purusha. Only the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavat and Bhagavat Dharma describes God as the Purusha or Mahapurusha. Other religions, they'll describe God as Ishvara, as the controller, or the Srishtikarta. Who can tell me what Srishtikarta means? Srishtikarta. Alex? Archana?
Is a creator of word. Srishti
Yes.
means word.
Yes.
Karta means creator.
One who was the kartavyam, one who can create, one who is the creator. And this is how people see God. They see God. They're happy to see God like this, as creator. So that's like an intermediate distance. There's Brahman. That is like seeing God at a very far distance as a light. In the far distance, God is light, and that's it. And I'm part of the light, and I'm Brahman. Then seeing God a bit closer, we'll see him as Srishtikarta, as the creator, as the Father in heaven, who has created heaven and earth, and who is the provider, who has given us our daily bread, and who delivers us from all evil, and who is the protector of the pious soul and the judge of the sinful soul. And this is how they see God at the intermediate, how do you say it? Intermediary? Yes, intermediary, distant. But now in the pages of the Bhagavatam, we're seeing God very close. As they say, close up and
Personal.
personal. Close up and personal. So this is how we're seeing God here. Very close. This is why the Bhagavatam can't be described. It can't be compared to any other scripture. Okay, Jigna, go ahead. Oh no, sorry, Archana.
Hare Krishna. According to Vedic culture, although polygamy is allowed, none of one's wives should be ill-treated. In other words, one may take many wives only if he is able to satisfy all of them equally as an ideal householder. Otherwise, it is not allowed. Lord Krishna is the word teacher. Therefore, even though he had no need for a wife, he expanded himself unto as many forms as he had wives, and he lived with them as an ideal householder, observing the regulative principles, rules, and commitments in accordance with the Vedic injunction and the social laws and customs of society. For each of his 16,108 wives, he simultaneously maintained different places, different establishment, and different atmosphere. Thus, the Lord, although one, exhibited himself as 16,108 ideal householders. Thus, end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 60th chapter of Krishna, talks between Krishna and Rukmani.
Okay, we've come to the end of that. The next chapter is called The Genealogical Table of the Family of Krishna. So that's going to be very interesting. There's going to be a lot of names mentioned here. And of course, Krishna, he is able to expand himself. This is what the Purusha is. He's got the power by his own Sarup Shakti, which is Radharani, and by his own power of expansion, Svangsha. This is what it's called, Svangsha. He can expand himself into many, many, many forms. And then he expands himself even more as Vibhinangsha. Who can tell me what Vibhinangsha is?
Different forms.
Yeah, but what forms? Vibhinangsha. There's Svangsha. Angsha is the word here. Sva Angsha. Sva means one's own. Angsha. So his own Angsha, he expands personally. This is the most personal form of the Lord's expansion as he expands his own form unlimitedly. Then Vibhinangsha.
So
Jigna?
variety of functions.
Yeah. You're clutching at stores, but you're trying. Jigna?
Is it something to do with being small?
Yes, Vibhinangsha is the Jiva Tattva. What is the Jiva Tattva?
Living entities?
The living entities, yes. So when we say Vibhinangsha, that means that Krishna expands himself as us. He expands himself as us. So we are also Krishna. You see, we are also Krishna. Prabhupada explains that we are tiny Krishnas. Krishna is the big Krishna who has all full expansion, but we are Vibhinangsha, we are tiny expansion. Therefore, we are part and parcel of the Lord. This is what it means to be part of. We are also non-different from Krishna ourselves. We are simultaneously one and different. We are one with God, but because God is the unlimited portion of the Godhead himself, he is unlimitedly able to expand himself, but we can't. We can only expand ourselves. What can the yogi expand himself up to? A perfect yogi like Kardama Muni or Vishwamitra or these great Brahma yogis, Brahma rishis, how many times could they expand their body up to? Nobody knows? 9 times. Kardama Muni, he expanded his body by yoga process. He was extremely powerful yogi, and he could expand his body up to 9 times. But the difference was with him, when Krishna expands his form unlimitedly, he can do different things at the same time. So Krishna can play chess, he can have an argument with someone, he can go for a walk, he can play with his children, he can fight in an art of war. He can do it at the same time. But the yogi, when he expands his form, it's like seeing 9 televisions. You know, when you go into Curry's, PC World Curry's, and you see all the TVs are on, and then you see everyone's doing the same thing at the same time. Yeah. So a yogi is able to do that. They can expand their body up to 9 times. They have got the power. It's one of the siddhis, but they can only do the same thing. But Bhagwan, he can do simultaneously different activities. This is the Purusha. There's only one Purusha. Mahapurusha is the Lord himself. Okay, so we're going to get ready for next week. Krishna had 16,108 wives. So we'll start that next week. The genealogical table of the family of Lord Krishna. Okay, Ramesh Bhai.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Abar Bhai, Abar. I'm just looking for there's no page here. I'll just keep this here. My old Bhagavad Gita shloka little book here. Had that since 1982 or 3. 30 shlokas from the Gita. Okay. Hare Krishna. So we'll see you next week.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chanaravinda, Ramesh Bhai, Alex G. Enjoy. Alex, do you like the slideshow I sent you?
Yes, it was good. Thank you for sending that.
It took me about 3 weeks to build it up.
How are you doing, Sam?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I just
Oh, the carers are all right. Okay, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Take care, everyone. Have a good week.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Bol.